Big Lemmy. That's why. All right, everyone, I guess here. Once again, it is the midnight run. It looks like I have cross piss streams with Big Lenny's live stream, so it looks like everybody's over there, but no worries. The Great One has planned for that situation there. How y'all folks doing today here? I see you, Danny. You got some wine. Well, actually, went down to the store, Total Wine. I was only having one bottle or so forth, but I've decided to get back my collection because I wasn't saving any money whatsoever, and I, didn't have a variety of drinks. Hey, Zach, what's up there? So I actually went and got some Naval Strength Gin, but I'm not going to drink that tonight there. I've been trying to cut down on caffeine there. Pugman's been hitting me up with that there, so been trying to survive with just 1 cup of coffee a day, so makes me a little bit lethargic, but just taking a bunch of B12, so I'm doing all right there, other than being a little bit lethargic. That and the weather's changing. Oh, boy. I poured myself just a little tash of brandy, water, and I got a smaller cigar tonight because I didn't feel like a bigger one. But what have you guys been up to here? Oh boy, what's everybody drinking and smoking tonight there? What I was going to do is I was going to tune in, put a little cross window for Big Lenny and stuff, but I don't want to crash my own stream, so I'm sure he'll get finished over there. You got Yerba Mate here. Okay. That's definitely good for you there. It's a good way of getting natural caffeine, so I'm just trying to do a lot of B12. But But yeah, it looks like we ran into a crossing those piss streams again there. So that happens sometimes. I'm not even sure why Lenny's doing a live stream so late, but oh well. Usually does his in the afternoon. But what else you guys have been up to here? Other than that, so. Oh boy. I'll tell you one thing. I am freaking tired. Yes, it's going to be healthier than, well, I mean, compared to coffee, I think it's about the same because, you know, coffee still is still a natural, the caffeine in it is still natural occurring, such as the yerby. So Vegan Gains has sat there for 10 minutes. Let's see what we got here. Let me close out these files. Since we're going to wait for some people, let's check out the wide world of Vegan Gains. Can I debate Vegan Gains right now? He didn't feel like debating the other time there, so I'm not sure what's going on. I've tried to reach out to him there about doing a couple things there, but he's not responded, so. No, there's no truth about John Bravo giving Nate's location there. I don't know where, I was going to address that later on. There's no truth with it. The FBI doesn't need John Bravo's help there, you know. I don't really do enemas here. You know, I know that was invented by the guy that created Kellogg's cereal and stuff like that, but I mean, I guess I've heard the name coffee enemas a couple times here, so let's see what he's doing.
This simple line of code can increase your ad sales by 50 to 100% instantly. No changes in your business.
No, Perrin is still there. Interesting. What the fuck is he doing? What is wrong with him? Hold on a minute, folks. Yeah, I got him on.
Stream. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate the donations as well. Nighty night.
Well, I was gonna... Yeah, he just ended his stream. Weird. What the L. What? My God. Hey, Joel, what's up there? I had him on there, but he just ended the stream. I don't know what the heck is going on. Like I said, I was going to tune into... Well, I guess that's out of the question. It's been kind of a weird night there. Very weird night. I don't know what's been going on with people. Maybe he's upset over Jerry Springer passing away or something like that. You know, I grew up with Jerry Springer. I think a lot of people in the 90s. You know, you get home, you watch your cartoons, and then Jerry Springer came on at 5 o'clock p.m. before the news. With Darcel Grimes and stuff. Yeah, he also removed the video, too. What is going on with him? I think Veganism Exposed got the... he might have actually got it. Hold on. Hey, Nazio, we're trying to... Papa Vince is trying to solve a little mystery here. Hold on just a minute. Did he catch it? I'm sure he caught it. He'll probably post it up again. Oh, I'm kind of lethargic today because I've been following Pugman's advice. He said to cut down on some caffeine, which I've been meaning to do it for quite some time. You have to understand I left a high powered position at Verizon, so I drank a lot because I had to do business parties and stuff like that. And I drank a ton of coffee there just in order to stay awake during meetings, doing seminars and stuff like that. So basically, I'm trying to cut out everything that I did when I worked at Verizon and just trying to calm things back down because he is right. I didn't drink as much coffee as I used to. So I've only had 1 cup of coffee today here, and that's pretty much it. Or excuse me, I had 2 cups and then I've had decaf. And normally I would be drinking about 5 or 6 cups a day. So, and having like 3 cigars whenever I was at Verizon. So it was something there. I have no clue. He sat there for 10 minutes and just drifted away. That sucks. The good thing is the great one ain't gonna drift off on you. You know what I mean? So the stream is down again. Let's see. It's coming in at excellent connection here. But people have told me that. I have a lot better connection and faster speed than I used to with the new stuff there. But we are going to make a couple of changes here once that new equipment comes in next month, unfortunately. And I absolutely hate having to work with equipment. Am I still on, folks? Someone said my stream was down. Hey, Susan, what's up? Okay. So y'all talking about Richard. Don't scare me like that. I done put a lot of work into this damn thing, so. Well, in any event, in case you just tuned in, apparently Richard did a Harry Carry on his site and on his live stream and just cut it off. Might be his medication issues or something else here. Could be marital issues or so forth. Who knows? But, I've tried to contact him. He isn't... But give me just a minute here. But in case you missed it, I got my brandy, got my cigar, and I got water. That's all I got here. No, John Bravo is not an informant. He didn't rat out Nate Diaz. He didn't need to. Nate Diaz was going to turn himself in anyway. So let's get lit, folks. This is a night for America, people. Despite the fact that men think that they're transitioning to women, men can't have menopause or anything like that. That's impossible. Only biological women can have menopause. I mean, John Bravo knows a lot of stuff there, and he has a lot of connections, but I don't think he turned in Nate Diaz. I mean, I'll ask him there, later on or so. So, yeah, I've been cutting down on a lot of caffeine lately. Basically, I'm trying to revert everything back before I worked at Verizon there because You know, I drank a lot more coffee, did a lot more things here. And I feel a lot lighter now that I'm not eating all that fast food, but it is just causing hell for my body, in other words, because I no longer have all that caffeine just raging through me and stuff. So, but I'm getting to bed earlier, so. Oh God, I used to have like 5 or 6 cups a day. 5 or 6 cups of espresso. I mean, I was wound up. 3 big cigars and then little cigars and stuff like that. You know, a bunch of drinks a day, that's for sure. Oh, and gosh, on the weekends, oh man, days off was about even worse. So, if you're talking about the RX forum there, that thing kicks me off each and every time. There's a lot of technical issues with it. If you're referring to the live streams, like I said, Dave rotates his guests around. I mean, he has his standard people, you know, the whack pack and everything like that. But you have to understand that John Bravo was a guest commentator for RX Muscle. That's the same with me. Occasionally, I'll come on RX Muscle, but we're not permanent mainstays there, you know. You know, you got to be pretty much, for the most part, full-blooded Italian. I'm not enough. I'm definitely not enough Italian, and you know, John Bravo has no Italian in him, as far as I'm concerned. Uh, I found a good decaf coffee there. Really good from Aldi there, and then it's really good. So Monster Energy, yeah, it has a lot of caffeine, taurine, and stuff like that in there. Yeah, my heart rate was pretty high, you know. Well, Tater Tot, I worked at Verizon. I was always anxious and very irritable, you know. That is Verizon's a rough place to work for, you know what I mean? Always stats, always this, always that, you know. I mean, I worked in customer relations, you know. I want you guys to think about customer relations. Verizon, largest telephone company. What pisses people off more than a telephone bill? Now, imagine you're not working in customer service and you're getting those escalated calls. That means someone asked for a manager and then asked for that manager above the manager. And guess who that was? That's me. You know. So you have a couple stages. Whenever you call into Verizon, you get what's called a vendor rep. It's not even a Verizon employee, just vendor customer service. Then, if you ask for a manager, you get transferred to a regular Verizon employee customer service. Afterwards, if you ask for another manager, then you get me, you know? Nobody listens to Big Trips anymore. His channel's lame. That's what he's upset at. I mean, who watches this stuff anymore? Mm. I'm at a point to where I just like, you know, I mean, he does those good little live wrestling match things on, you know, video games, but that's about it. But I was always irritable at Verizon. Always irritable. Everybody was. Everybody was under high pressure, you know, and stuff. I mean, whenever we had the call center, you know, they had to call the ambulance like twice a day, you know, because people would just basically pass out from all the delirium. That's how bad it was, you know. He did say that. I'll ask Dave. Well, I guess I got to ask Dave about that. Folks, I still regularly speak to Dave there, you know. That's the first I've actually heard of that, you know. No, I wasn't the final boss at Verizon. The only person that was above me was executive relations. I mean, we had supervisors, but supervisors didn't answer phone calls or anything. I was sort of like Judge Dredd, you know, I was a street judge, you know, pretty much. So. Yeah, I did slap him with my John Holmes, but he asked for it, you know. Remember, folks, if I don't want to talk to someone, that's my right. I don't have to go and answer everyone's email messages, you know. And I mean, the thing about it is I didn't answer his because, you know, all he posted about was Leo and longevity and Tony Huge. You know, he can go do his thing. I'm going to do my thing. But I'm going to leave him alone because he hadn't said nothing about me, you know. John Bravo actually smoothed over things, sort of. But I told him if he ever came over my house there, I'd kill him. So you can't go and make threats here, you know. I told him I'd do it without mercy, too, you know. You can't go and just threaten someone to go over someone's house and do something, you know. I mean, seriously. Especially in South Carolina, you know. But yeah, I was somewhat the final boss here. But usually I got things cleared up before they got involved. I got disciplined by executive relations one time. Actually, no, twice. Ah. I didn't threaten him. He threatened me. I told John Bravo, I'm like, if he comes over my house, I'm going to take care of him, you know. I mean, you got to listen to that. You got to see his little documentary and stuff like that, you know. You can't just go around threatening to kill people, folks, you know. That's not cool. Yeah, Asheville does have high crime because it has a high amount of liberals in there, so. Aaron, what's up, man? The game plan tonight is just to sit back and chat, you know, and stuff. But I guess people are wanting reaction videos because Vegan Gains cut off his live stream or so forth. But honestly, you know, that wouldn't be too bad of an idea. What do y'all want me to react to anyway? Just out of curiosity. Zach, I don't know whether coffee enemas are good for you because I don't get enemas. I've heard people do coffee enemas, you know, and stuff. You know, the thing about it is that the butthole has very small vessels and stuff like that, you know, and stuff to where anything's in there is going to be more absorbent, you know. That's why you don't want to pour alcohol down your asshole. You'll get really, really drunk. Don't go behind the... No, don't. I would agree with you, $50. Yeah, let's go ahead and review J Master's video. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Since I'll be honest with you, folks, I don't have a game plan tonight. I really don't.
Hey there. No need to adjust your TV.
Now, folks, I don't... I'm too cheap to actually pay for YouTube Premium.
All right, Jay.
So let's go ahead and do this here. Hang tight, folks. So I'm getting a lot better at this. All right, we'll do a reaction video.
Hey, what were we just talking
falling out of the container onto the carpet. Then I gotta wipe off all the carpet fuzz.
That's great. Of course, you have to do an exercise today where you expose your armpits to your camera person.
And they're bad.
Wonderful. I don't know if mine are much better.
But Lenny would tell you that body odor stimulates testosterone.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? Testosterone.
Folks, body odor does not, increase testosterone. I just want to make that clear.
Stimulates body odor?
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. Maybe you can switch up your routine and do legs so your armpits aren't continually exposed mid-set to me.
You know, I know a female who wishes to remain nameless that actually gets aroused when the armpit has a slight odor. But if it's an excessive odor, she's extremely turned off.
I remember you talked about that in one of your first Misfit appearances. I distinctly recall that conversation.
Yeah. If she smells a little armpit, she gets a devilish little grin. And she starts thinking about cock.
I don't when I smell it. Hey, look at that. We got plates on. No chains, no...
Folks, it is awesome watching him film again there. No more of this rough shy stuff. I love it.
Bands.
Professionally done videos.
Outstanding. Did you just blow your nose?
No, I just smelled my own armpit to get a testosterone release.
Back day at Powerhouse Gym with the bully. Let's go.
I'm running with the devil. Yeah. I think that was 15.
When you start to get purple, that's when it's real. Few maniacs commented on your face being a little more purpley and red than normal lately. What's going on with that? Anything?
I think it's something in my pre-workout powder.
Your nose is like...
Yeah. It gets worse if I forget to wear my CPAP.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with oxygenation in the blood. Because if I don't wear my CPAP, I'm purple as fuck.
Yeah, I would agree. He has a low amount of oxygen getting through the body, and you can definitely tell. He needs to be more mindful as far as to, using that CPAP machine. That's very important there. Other than that, he probably needs a facial as well, Not sperm to the face, but, go into, like a salon and get a facial or so forth. Clear out all the rough edges.
Like Barney the dinosaur. But even if I wear my CPAP religiously, I still got a little bit of a purple hue once I get jacked up on the pre-workout. Oh God, is this heavy?
If you love sports, and I mean love sports, check out The Athletic, where you can find really unique content.
What's the goal, 12?
Football, basketball, hockey, baseball, soccer, golf, motorsports, and more. The Athletic goes far deeper in sports and standards. Go to theathletic.com/Spotify to get started at an exclusive introductory rate.
How many's that?
I'm not counting.
Below the surface of what's happening in sports today. Get started
But keep going if you can.
/Spotify.
Okay, that's all. We'll have to watch the video to get the reps. I think that's more than I did. I think that was more than 12. It was 13 or 14. So I'll call that a victory. Here we go.
Would you call these Dorian Yates rows?
This is a Dorian Yates row. I do these with a machine because I would be embarrassed.
I think Jay Masters is still a truck driver, but clearly he still stays in Delray Beach at some point in time there, Aaron.
Embarrassed to do these with a barbell row.
Meaning what, with an underhand grip?
Yeah, the short range of motion to your belly. This is how you see most young guys doing barbell rows these days. The infamous Yates row. It's a decent exercise, but it doesn't mean you should ruin your barbell rows. They make a machine for it. The Arnold and Ferrigno movie, is it called Stay Hungry?
No, Pumping Iron.
No, the other one.
Oh, that was just Arnold was in it. Yeah, that was like Franco Colombo at the end was already bodybuilding, but Arnold was the star. Him and Jeff Bridges and Sally Field. It was called Stay Hungry.
Is that the one where Arnold trains in like a costume?
Yeah.
That's a weird movie.
A gym upstairs. Yeah, it was supposed to be, I think, like in Louisiana or something like that. Yeah, Louisiana, Alabama. I think it was supposed to be Alabama.
Is he dressed up like Batman or something?
Yeah, some kind of. He didn't want anybody to see him. You know, that was a good movie though.
It's been a long time since I saw. I thought that was the one where he's giving Ferrigno the wrong advice. That's Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Pumping Iron. That was the original. And that was.
Folks, y'all see that right there. Good old Dorian Yates. At least the gym is, if anything, is off to a good start. They got a good set of weights.
That was made.
Yeah, Jay is strong as hell. Like I said, he's a trained and accomplished power lifter. So I'll give him that.
After the book.
Isn't that, he also tells a guy to pose and scream during all of his poses?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
He's got some rookie in a bodybuilding show and he tells him to scream as loud as he can every time he poses on stage.
Pumping Iron. He's giving Ferrigno a bunch of bad advice. Shit he does.
If y'all guys want to know about the screaming incident, you have to get Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. It's in that big-ass book. I know the last 3 minutes makes the video, but because I haven't watched it, I'm just going to go all the way through it. They're $50.
Doesn't really do, right?
You know, he was just telling him like. We were just like teasing him, but not really giving him bad advice by teasing him.
Oh.
But you know. But Arnold already knew. One thing Arnold had, he knew in his mind, I'm the winner before the contest even starts.
Sure.
So, and that's what he had over everybody else, you know. But
Well, he had the shape. He had the symmetry.
yeah,
He had perfect symmetry.
and Franco, you know, he was a great bodybuilder. At the time, he was the strongest bodybuilder.
I bet.
At that time. You know, I mean, there's that one scene where he has 315 on his chest, and he's laughing, and I can tell he just like lets it lay on his chest. And then when he's done laughing, he grabs the bar and just pushes 315 right back up.
He used to compete in those old Strongest Man in the World competitions on
He broke his
ESPN.
leg carrying
The refrigerator. Yeah, I'll never forget that. His knee went right out of the
I
socket.
mean, think about it. 315, you let it rest on your chest. He's laughing at a joke. Then he just grabs it. Boom. I mean, that's just raw power right there. No momentum and nothing.
All right, so Jay just informed me as he's winding down his workout here, he has a treat for everybody. And he hasn't told me what it is yet, but he's going to show it to me, and we're going to show it to all of you when we get out of here in a couple minutes.
Little show and tell I've been saving.
You want to give it hints? Anything? Is there a body in the behind the gym or something? What's up?
It is behind the gym.
Oh, okay. I'm off to a good start.
It's back behind the dumpster, and it's not a dead hooker.
Huh.
I wish it was a dead hooker.
All right.
And I'm not ruling out the possibility of a dead hooker in the...
All right, don't tell me the surprise. I know we're getting to the 3-minute warning, folks, but don't tell me what's going to happen. I want to be surprised, okay? Don't say anything.
future.
Jay, I don't know where you're taking me, but...
I only heard about it, but I gotta see it to believe it.
What? What the hell are you doing?
Okay, the coast is clear.
Oh, God.
someone had a fire out here. Look.
Nice shot, LeBron. Where are we going? What are we looking for? Right, I see you pointing. What am I looking at?
Near that can of C4. In front of that can of C4.
Is that dirt? What is that?
Yeah, it's dirt.
Look at my camera. What I'm zooming in on?
Yeah,
Okay. What is that?
that's a poop I took.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a poop you took when?
Sunday will be 5 weeks.
Oh, stop it. That's been there for 5 weeks? You know how much it's rained since then?
Oh, it's not quite 5 weeks. It's like 33 days, 34 days. Should go in there and get a
That is disgusting. So he really did do it. Ugh.
close-up of it. It's got corn in it.
How about I give you the camera and you go film the fucking close-up? Here you go. Go ahead. Wait, let me take my hand out. Don't drop the camera, please.
I'll drop it right in the poop. But I was here one day before they opened, and I had to go, and the bathroom wasn't open yet. So I came back here behind the dumpster and hunched one off.
Did you wipe your ass?
Yeah, I had baby wipes in my backpack. I threw the baby wipes right in the dumpster.
I wish a raccoon jumped out
And this, folks, is what you call mints.
of the dumpster and bit you right in the ass.
That would fucking freak me out. But yeah.
Have you done anything else back here that you didn't know about? Give me this damn thing.
I masturbated. But I do that everywhere. So today's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Sunday, that poop will be 35 days old. So that means 34 on Saturday, 33 on... So it's 32 days old. And I've been stopping by to visit it. And I freshen it up with a good piss so that it stays hydrated.
Well, you pull up a chair and have a chat with it? What do you do?
I like to reminisce. I've never had a poop this long. That's the longest I've ever had a poop.
I'm just shocked there are no maggots and flies.
What's the longest someone else has had a poop? What's your record for having a poop?
What do you mean?
Like a poop you knew about that you could go spend time with and check on.
I don't have that record.
Everyone does.
Can I go now? I'm fucking hungry. Let's get out of here, man. Jesus. Sick fuck.
Well, that was quite disgusting, folks. Let's see what else we got to review. Let's see what Big Trips actually said about me.
What's going on, everybody? It's Goodrum here on a Friday night, just chilling. About to head out to the Swordfish Club, have a few drinks, smoke a few cigars, maybe a few trannies. Now, before I head out to the Swordfish, I want to give Vegan Games a little bit of advice here. You know something, Richard? You're always getting hurt. And the reason why is because you sit around doing nothing all day long. You sit around on YouTube streaming for 6 hours straight. My God, how can you stay? You know, being inactive like that all day long doing nothing is why you get hurt. You're lazy, Richard. You're lazy. You need discipline in your life. You need to stop acting like a little pussy. Period. What's going on, everybody? It's Goodrum here.
See how silly that is? Big Trips would be alright. He used to make really good videos, but now it's just pretty lazy. I mean, really.
Taco Queen. Kaizen Productions says William's probably watching E-Girls and Baddies on his phone. Aristophanes of Athens said Taco Queen stayed in Florida with a bull. I don't know her whereabouts on these. I don't know if she went or not. Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Apparently they did a live stream. You guys hear what Meow Man said? He read one of the comments. Listen to this.
Since everybody's over here, we may as well watch Lenny's live
The great
stream.
one. I apologize for the great one. I'm a little late tonight, Vince, and especially on a Friday night. Sincerest apologies, great one. One of the maniacs says Brad's need shorts that say vegan booty.
Let's see.
Is there a possibility? Vince, OG, anytime, Vince. That's actually a compliment. The great one lives stream my stream.
Yes, Athens, it is me. Yeah, may as well, so.
Dale seems way out of it in this training session. Almost like it's not on a seriously intense level. I don't think about Joe Biden, psychotic box. I really don't. It's nothing to think about, nothing to say anymore. Ooh, Sassy says when the drones watch her, she gets up on her knees in fishnets and twerks. That I like to see. Look at William with that explosive, fast twitch fiber. William's got potential, I'll say this, for a young teenager. God, I hope William shaves that hair after this lambasting by Brad.
Should I take Lenny to the Swordfish Club? Maybe.
Lenny said he raffled Cornelius' wife's panties. No, just got mauled by you getting invited makes you look shorter.
All right, folks, I'm going to get back to my show. Oh.
Oh no. They just referred to that underage girl as a lot lizard.
Part of the reason being, folks, is that sometimes YouTube will give me a warning about doing stuff like that. Da 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 da. Yeah, I'll check my DMs later there, Truth One. Do I think Brad has a feminine side? Every human being has a feminine side. Part of the reason being is all the, men, even men produce produce estrogen. So everybody has a feminine side. Check out Gummy's latest. Yeah, why not? Like I said, folks, I ain't got no game plan today. Why don't I have him on my subscriptions? Hey, what's his YouTube name? $50. For some reason or other, I didn't save it. Yeah, we'll collab one day. I mean, eventually I'll go down to Delray Beach to hang out there. Because I got to go visit Aaron anyway, so, and see what he's up to. I've been meaning to stop by the Redcon facilities. Actually, folks, I should go ahead and tell you guys. If you guys remember, I didn't make a video for the past 2 days a while back. The reason being is I was speaking with Aaron and a bunch of other people. I was helping a guy get a person signed to a supplement contract that's actually the son of Ravishing Rick Rude. He's going to be competing pretty soon, so that's why I didn't make a games. I had him subscribed there. I don't know what's going on with that. His channel is private. That's why I can't see it. I'm not sure what happened. Well, a lot of people are with Redcon because they're affiliates of Redcon 1. I was even for a very short period of time, but it was interfering with my other supplement sales. Hmm. Wonder where Pugman's at and everybody else here. I was taking a night off. Maybe he's at the Swordfish Club. I'm actually going to the Swordfish tomorrow, but I may do a... Depending on things, folks. Why did I leave Verizon? Well, it's actually my internet, actually. When Verizon moved everyone home because of COVID, I don't have cable or fiber, so they issued me a Verizon 4G router. Then they took that back. I bought my own router in order to work. Then Verizon made the decision to become completely virtual. And then they told me I had to stop using my 4G router because I don't have a 4G, because I don't have cable and fiber, I had to leave the company. So left the company and started my own cell phone company, which isn't doing too hot since Mint Mobile moved to, is now owned by T-Mobile pretty much. But I signed an agreement yesterday with Teledynamics, so I'll be selling a lot of telecommunications equipment. But the truth of the matter is the grocery store is going great that I started. I should have done that a long time ago. That is doing freaking awesome, And I couldn't figure out why, and then I found out that Amazon's closed up a lot of Whole Foods stores all around the country, so I'm basically getting all their customers. And because everything I process is manual, I have a much lower overhead. My overhead on Caliber Grocers is like $20 a year, so very low overhead, along with a little advertising, but I don't really need to do much, maybe like $100 a month. But that's why I don't work at Verizon anymore. But even when I get back cable or fiber, I'm not going to go back to Verizon, Once I left the company and stuff, I was a little nervous about business, but business has been pretty decent, Obviously, I'm not making the money that I used to, I'm not making, with my business and stuff I'm not making a 6-figure income right now. But I'm making about 30 or 40,000 a year on average, so, but I'm still doing all right. I don't have that many bills to begin with, but, Have I ever watched Undead Chronic? I've not seen that as of yet, but I'm not a big fan of Steve Crowder. I think he's a polemist here, so. One thing I don't like is polemists, people like him, The Quartering, Isaac Butterfield and stuff. Because they exaggerate controversies that's really not a controversy. Well, Oatmeal, the truth of the matter is, social media has always been around. Before there was Facebook, we had slam books. Slam books have been around since the early 1900s. And what a slam book is pretty much the same as Facebook, except you write everything in a notepad and you pass it around, and then you pass around notes during class. So social media has always been around, folks. Facebook just makes it a lot more convenient. Well, Fernandez, I'm from Seaboard, North Carolina, so we're a little bit more dirt. We're a little bit more of dirt people than most Southerners, so that's why. Plus, I know how to speak proper English too. So while I have a much heavier accent, because I do a lot of public speaking and seminars, especially when I worked at Verizon, I speak English better, so. Well, finally someone's ripping into Crowder. Just because I'm a conservative doesn't mean that I like every other conservative, Well, in order for me to have cable and fiber, I would have had to move. I've already purchased my house, and stuff. It's not a matter of frugality. Because I wasn't a supervisor or someone in top level, Verizon was not going to pay for me to move at all. Plus, you have to think I can go to T-Mobile or any other company, Metro, PCS, or so forth there. So, there's a lot of other telecommunication companies that I can work for. I just opted just to run my own businesses for right now until I figure things out. you have to remember if you're, you have to remember in my position at Verizon, and especially in the state of South Carolina, you can be hired or fired at any time for any reason or no reason. So I could have moved somewhere else there and I could have got laid off the very next day. In fact, Verizon's actually doing a number of layoffs. So even if I had cable or fiber, I would have only preserved my job maybe for another 5 or 6 months there, because a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine in similar positions of mine actually lost their jobs there. So that's the thing, folks. That's why I tell people to always have multiple sources of income so you have something to fall back on, Verizon was a great job. I made a ton of money at Verizon, no doubt about it, I made a ton of money. I have a lot of money in the bank there. But it's not a matter of frugality. It's just a matter of just a matter of commonality. I was going to leave Verizon anyway in a couple of years, so COVID-19 pretty much accelerated things that I was already going to do. So I would have been gone in 5 months anyway, so it doesn't make really much of a difference. So I think I made the right decision in not uplifting my life and just moving back into an apartment or so. I mean, it's a little bit tougher, but I have a lot more free time for myself too, so. I mean, I can always go back to Verizon, folks. Don't get me wrong. I can always go back there. But why go back and, because remember, it was just still a job there,
It's payday. Cocktail for Vince.
$50 with a $4.99 donation. I don't have a payday anymore, $50. I just get daily sales there. So I get paid daily. I get paid more now that I'm running the business solely than what the business was producing. The reason being is because I had hired people to run the businesses for me. Now I've gotten rid of all those people and I just outsource for the most part. So now I'm pretty much collecting the money for myself. Yeah, I'm a super frugal guy there, I mean, I have my extensions, you can't be a super miser. By the way, folks, cigar's done. Let me get one more puff out of this. And remember, folks, you twist, not jab. But yeah, I can always tell how much money I make per sale. Sometimes when I get an order, I only make maybe like 60 cents on it, Then other times I make $100, and sometimes I make 10, sometimes I make 5, sometimes I make $30 or $40. It just really all depends. And then not only do I have my other channels on YouTube, I also get Google AdSense for my websites as well. Like I said, I get crumbs of bread, folks, but those crumbs of bread, if you get a bunch of them, you're still going to get a loaf of bread at the end of the day. But yeah, nowadays I get paid daily, Like today, I made about $70 in, profit and sales there, so. But yeah, sometimes I don't get nothing but maybe like $5 or $6 here. It's a balance of things there, Eventually, I probably will go back to work because I'm at a point now to where everything's established. I got my outsourcing, so I'm not doing that much work. Whenever I say I work a lot there, it's more or less monitoring the chat rooms, and I hardly get any chats anymore, maybe like 3 or 4 a day, along with answering phone calls. So lately I've been doing a lot of seminars. I've been doing Photoshops and stuff like that. So, hey, Pugman, what's up, man? Pugman with a $1.99 donation. I certainly hope you're doing well. I did take your advice. I'm a little lethargic because I cut down on my coffee, like you mentioned, which I needed to do anyway. I needed to really cut down on a lot of things that I did at Verizon. So I'm a little bit wobbly, but I'm perfectly fine today, you know, and stuff. I'm not going to cut off my live stream like Vegan Gains did. Truth, when I was eating oatmeal, even when I worked at Verizon, oatmeal's just healthy and, you know, it's cheap too, you know. I make it overnight. I get up in the morning, have myself a nice bowl of oatmeal, you know. Oatmeal's good for you. It's good for clearing out the body. It clears out, it helps with cholesterol and stuff. Yeah, I'm still a consultant as well. I consulted with a couple of companies when I left there, you know, and I've had a number of job offers. But the thing about it is that, you know, I was up in the company, but it wasn't at a point to where, you know, I had a reason to actually stay, you know, because you have to. If I was in like Massachusetts or New York, then I wouldn't have had no problem moving because I know I would have worker protections. There's no worker protections down here in South Carolina. Like I said, you can get hired and fired for any reason or no reason. And if I had moved and spent all that money, I still would have been out of a job, except I would have had a lot less money and I would have lived in a place that I didn't want to live. And I like where I live, folks. Avocados have a lot of good healthy fats, but I would eat it for your health. It's not something that I would specifically recommend for bodybuilding. But it's a lot healthier than eating candy bars, obviously. And those essential fats will give you that type of energy. But yeah, folks, you got to decide as far as work is concerned, but you can't be tied down to a specific job. Because remember, I made a lot of money at Verizon, but I don't own Verizon. I didn't own my lifestyle. I didn't own my job or anything. You know, I worked for a company that I made money for, in other words. So as valuable as a worker I am, you know, or the type of title that I actually had, so what, you know? Verizon's been around before me, it'll be around after me, you know? Hey, Ami, I don't know why he shut down the stream. He's not been answering any of his emails to me neither, so... Yeah, Piedmont is all countryside. It's a really rural region. I live on the edge of Piedmont. I'm about maybe a quarter of a mile away from Greenville, actually. You see, I'm in Piedmont, but then you cross the bridge into actual Piedmont. So while technically I'm in Piedmont, I'm more or less really in Greenville. But it helps out on property taxes, folks. Do I think Obamacare did more harm than good? I think it did more good because, you know, before there was Obamacare, there wasn't really a lot of people didn't have health care plans, and now they do, you know. It's not perfect or anything, but, you know. But, you know, I think it helps out the country overall that people have health care, because when people have health care, you know, and they're taking care of themselves, they go to work and they pay taxes. If you don't have health care, you're going to wait around until you really get sick and then you're not working. And when you're not working, you're not paying taxes, you know. Overall, I think the Obamacare was good. It's definitely not perfect and there's a lot of problems with it. But the purpose of it was to solve a specific problem, so. That is a good program if they're hiring STEM workers here. But folks, if you really want to do something, folks, have a side hustle. Because like I said, my businesses for the most part were a side hustle. Technically, although I had hired people to do work for me while I was working at Verizon, and now I just keep the money for myself there, to pay bills. Like I said, I'm definitely not making as much at doing this now than I'm working at Verizon, but I have peace of mind. Remember, folks, as in Aesop's fables, lean freedom is better than fat slavery. Yeah, a healthy worker is a productive worker. Well, people have a problem with it because of low wages, Let me give you guys an example, Zach. When I got my first job at Wendy's and Taco Bell for a little bit, I made $4.25 an hour. But that was in 1992. The purchasing power in 2023 for $4.25 is about $9.40. And minimum wage now is $7.25 an hour. So basically it's behind, minimum wage is behind by about $2 there at least, Minimum wage has not changed in quite some time. And while there's still plenty of jobs that do pay just minimum wage. Family Dollar only pays really minimum wage. But it also drags down the wages of everything else there, If you think about it, you have to think of minimum wage as an anchor for pay, and stuff. Rob Self, I don't know what my net worth is. I'll be honest with you. I could be a millionaire if I count the value of all my websites or so forth, possibly. Then again, if I counted just how much cash I had on hand in actual revenue, I would say it's a little over $100,000. But remember, that's really nothing. The reason being is because you need at least $1 million in order to actually retire. So I only have 15 years to come up with $900,000, folks. So $100,000 may sound like a lot of money, but for someone like me that's 46 years old, it's nothing. That's why a lot of people have been working until 80 and 90 years old. So what I'm working on is trying to build up enough residual income. I'm going to have to go back to work, folks, eventually, which shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I can go back to any jobs that I've worked at, Lowe's. I can go back to Walmart and work. I can go back to Family Dollar, which I would definitely not do. I got a job offer at Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter Night Stalkers pay about $16 an hour, which is pretty good. So, hold on. Watch out, folks. There may be a little stutter in the video. $335 in 1989. Yeah, that's the whole point. You had more purchasing power. $335 was more money than $725 an hour today. Easy. I'm not gonna do Uber Eats. I've saw people that make a lot less money at Uber Eats here. And then of course you have to have a much newer car for them to actually allow you to do Uber Eats. I have older cars, so they wouldn't be eligible. I'd have to buy a brand new car. I'm not going to do that just to make pennies, Uber Eats drivers don't make as much money as people think they do because they have all those car expenses they have to pay. And then I have to drive around and stuff. Not only that, doing Uber is very dangerous too. You see all those people getting shot, you go and take food and you deliver it to the wrong door and they come out with a shotgun or something. It's just maddening. I'm going to go to the Goodwill tomorrow. I need to pick up some new glasses, actually, for my house. Probably some new wine glasses. And I need new whiskey cups because some of these are beginning to have a crack in it. But as far as the Goodwill is concerned, there's nothing wrong with the Goodwill. You can get shirts and pants there. I got to take a friend over to the food pantry on Monday. Folks, if you're having trouble, there should be no reason that anyone should starve in this country. You see, people are too arrogant to go to a food pantry knowing that they're in trouble. They're too arrogant to go out to a Goodwill, or so forth. There's nothing wrong with going to a Goodwill. If you ain't got much money there, go to a Goodwill. Go to a food pantry to get food, You don't need food. I mean, there's plenty of decent food. You're not going to get what you want, but you'll get what you need. I mean, you hand me a bag of flour, I will make biscuits. I'll make any type of recipe. You can cook food, You give me oatmeal. Hey, I already eat oatmeal, folks. You get eggs. You get some canned foods and stuff like that, and stuff. People think they're too good to go to a food pantry, and people think they're too good to go to a Goodwill. They are wrong! Most wealthy people go to Goodwill. Most people, you may not know this, but a lot of celebrities, they actually even collect food stamps, Because while they get paid a bunch for a job, there's going to be periods of time to where they're not working. So when their income is zero, they'll go and apply for SNAP benefits here, I mean, look at Chad Ochocinco, for example. He has a $7 watch. He doesn't wear very expensive clothes or anything like that, I don't neither, but most people think I carry myself as being such, The reason why I do have money is because I don't spend, because I'm not an arrogant person. I don't think I'm too good for anything. I understand the economics of things. I understand that when you go to a Goodwill, if you get a pair of pants and clothes, they may have been worn by someone else, but all you got to do is throw it in the washing machine. Look at glass, for example. Glass, throw it in a dishwasher. It's good as new. It's perfect, I appreciate that, Zach. It is economics here, I like using my air fryer and my Ninja Foodie grill. The Ninja Foodie grill was probably the best investment I make. I love that thing. Sometimes you can get fresh produce at a food bank there, It just depends on what they get in generally, And if, there's a number of other things that I also do. I don't go to a food pantry. I'm going to take someone to a food pantry, and they're like, I don't want to go there. I'm like, no, you're going to go there. Stop asking me for money, You ask me for money for food, I'll take you to a food pantry, and stuff. When I moved back to Greenville, and I didn't have any money after my divorce and everything like that, even though I got my job at Verizon, I still didn't have any money. I went to the Goodwill, got a microwave, got a couple other things, got a coffee maker. Then I hit the food pantry, got food. Then I hit the Goodwill, got me some work clothes and stuff like that, Was it the best stuff? No, but it worked for me, It's what I could afford at the time there, If Blaha's on any type of disability and is getting a government check, then yes, he would be getting SNAP benefits. There's nothing dumb about it there, Tater Tot there. That's just my way of thinking, as far as things are concerned. You have to understand, when it comes to a food pantry, this is stuff that people donate that they don't want to eat there, Period, You don't have to go and claim all the food that you get at the food pantry. You get to pick and choose what you're going to eat, Well, I'm just giving an example, NGC, as far as to what you can get at a food pantry. If there's something you don't want there, you don't have to get it, you know. But general goods such as flour and oatmeal, you know, and stuff like that are perfectly fine, you know. Sardines, heck, packed in water. There's your protein. Beans, heck, you get raw beans. Hey, I can deal with some pinto beans, folks. Put a little spice on it there, you know. Nothing wrong with that, folks. But it's better than begging the government to pay your bills and stuff like that, you know. That's the whole thing there. You see all these liberals on TV and stuff saying we need more this and more that. You know, they're working a minimum wage job and they have a $1,500 phone. They have a $1,000 iPad. They have a $700 iWatch, you know. They have cable TV, all of the streaming channels and stuff like that. They got their priorities wrong. Their credit cards are up the a-hole and stuff, you know. Hey, Tater Tot, it is true, you know. People in Hollywood use food stamps here, you know. Because technically they get a big check and then they're not making money for maybe a year or two. So they take advantage of the government opportunities, Tater Tot. I kid you not there, you know. They're not going to admit to it, but they do, you know. I don't think a TV offer would ever be made there, but I mean, I've been on TV before, Yesham, so. Yes, I've owned a George Foreman grill. That was one of the things I got from the Goodwill when I got back to Greenville. I got it for like $6 at Goodwill. So I had a George Foreman grill. I had that little black one, the real cheap one. You know, and I got one. Most of my stuff I got was from the Goodwill when I moved back here, as well as when I got my divorce. As far as investment device, I would invest in books there, you know. Invest in books, invest in knowledge, and invest in education and learn something. Your best investment is right here in the kahunas, you know, and stuff. Stop looking for that quick money there that you see on TV, you know. Can a person find... Oh, absolutely. You can find anything at the Goodwill. They have plenty of video games at the Goodwill. They're older video games. They have GameCubes and stuff. You never know what you'll get there. Yeah, beans and rice there. That's your protein right there, you know. You got both of your amino acids here, you know. Yeah, I watched the draft for today. I'm not sure what the Detroit Lions are actually doing. They got themselves another running back there, you know. So now they got like 3 running backs. So I'm not sure whether they're going to get rid of some or not. Well, I'm taking a friend to a food pantry, $50. I'm not getting anything for myself because I'm tired of them begging me for money. I cashed at them about $40 and stuff like that. I have no problems helping people out there, you know. But sometimes you got to take the, you got to take the, let people know, hey, you don't have no food in your house there, you know. I'll take you to where the food is, you know. It's like, y'all ever seen that Sam Kinison special? It's like the people in Africa. They live in a freaking desert, you know, and they're starving. You got to go where the food is. You got to go to the food. You live in a freaking desert. You live in a freaking desert. Why live in the desert for? Move. You are not a tree. Why don't people in these countries just move to where the food is, you know? Plain and simple, you know? You got to go where the food is, you know? And like I said, people are just too proud of themselves there. They think they're too good to go to a food pantry when they ain't got no money, you know? But they'll definitely yell at the government. They'll yell at, you know, and they don't do nothing. They'll go out there and they got all this time protesting. Rather than going out and protesting, fill out some freaking job applications, you know? I mean, it's pretty easy to file a job application. You ain't got to write it down anymore. You can go on a computer and fill out a job application, have a job in no time, you know? It may not be the job that you want, but it's a job you get. I unloaded trucks at Walmart, you know? It only paid $7.95, but, you know, that's the work that I got, you know? And hey, I got in good, I mean, heck, didn't need to go to a gym when you're unloading trucks at Walmart, you know? I think Jason, for the most part, will probably play in coffee houses and stuff like that, but he's never going to go professional. Oh, you got your pantry. Folks, don't go to a food pantry if you have money to buy food, and stuff. But I go to the Goodwill all the time. And sometimes I find a lot of collectibles at the Goodwill that I can resell from stuff here. Well, Zach, I would go to both a flea market and a Goodwill to get the best deals found there for video games. Why not go to both? If you have a flea market, go there. If you also have a Goodwill, go there. I also have a Miracle Mart Ministries I go to. Infinite Warfare, you should not be eating eggshells. They're not meant to be eaten. They have a lot of calcium in it there on the eggshells, but no need to do some crazy stuff like that, folks. Really. You don't need to be eating eggshells. But yeah, that's a problem with these libs there, and stuff. Always begging working people for stuff there when they won't go out there and get the stuff itself there. I mean, folks, if I ever run out of money or anything like that, let's say I have no money like I did before, I'm going to do the same things, use some common sense. I'm not going to go beg for something. I'm going to go work for it. I'll find whatever job is out there, I'll go to the Goodwill like I did. I'll go to the food pantry like I did. That way I ain't got to go beg for someone to give me something, Well, Tater Tot, you have to understand that the stuff is donated there. You get what I mean? So if someone donates a collectible, I have no problems collecting it and reselling it, I know a guy that whenever he goes to the Goodwill, and let me tell you about what he does. You see, at a Goodwill, you can get a tie for like $1 or so forth. You're going to like this. He goes and buys up all the ties. He'll buy about 20 ties for about $1. And then he'll go on eBay and he'll sell them for like 50 cents each. Now, here's the cool thing. He sells them on eBay for 50 cents each, but he charges $4.99 for shipping. And it only costs maybe like 60 or 70 cents. Put 2 first-class stamps, you can send a tie out to someone. So therefore, he's making a 250% profit there off buying ties there. He buys 20 ties, for $20. He's technically getting about $5.50 a piece. So basically, he took $20, sold them, $5.50 a piece. So you take $5.50, times that by 20, and then minus off your expenses. You've made $90 off buying 20 ties. Very simple to do. My grocery bill is about $200 a month now. I've moved up my amount of groceries here simply because I don't eat out as much as I used to now that I'm not working at Verizon. So technically I'm spending a lot less for food each and every month. All right, Zach, that's good there. You're going to like having a weight vest there. And, most weight vests are durable. You can keep them for the rest of time, folks, But yeah, that's the way libs think there. They think everything should be handed to them when all the stuff is already out there that's available, You gotta, folks, you gotta get rid of all your self-pride in things here, okay? What if I get spotted at a food pantry? You're broke. What if your friends spot you? Well, take your friends there to the food pantry with them. They're probably just as broke as you are, No, because that stuff is given away, Tater Tot. They get a write-off on whatever pictures they get there, And you also have to understand people that are poor, they're not going to be going around buying portraits or anything like that. They're going to be buying things for their house there, you know. And by buying things in cash at a Goodwill, the Goodwill is getting cash that they can use for other things there, you know. So it's a win-win situation. Well, Dale, you have to understand they're in their 60s there, you know. They're not going to understand trolling. Me, I do, because I did do the trolling at one time there. I did a whole lot more trolling than I do at this day and age there, you know. But what would you have me do there? If they have portraits and they have collectibles and stuff like that, why not get it, you know? Otherwise, it's just going to sit there, you know? And the money I spend is still going back to a good cause there, you know? When I moved up here, I wasn't focused on collectibles. I was just focusing on things that I needed to survive, you know? I don't need to do that anymore, but I will still go to a Goodwill in order to save money on things like I said, glasses, for example. Yeah, I buy plenty of, I mean, most of the time I am buying meats here, you know, and stuff. The reason being is I got oatmeal and I got rice here, you know. I already got my carbohydrates. So all I need to do is buy vegetables and I need to buy meat and I'm good, you know. So I'll have chicken and rice, or I'll have fish and rice, you know. You know, and eggs are pretty inexpensive too, but I don't eat that many eggs. I only eat eggs once a week. Goodwill will pay minimum wage, actually. But here's the thing, Zach. It's like I said before. If that's the only job you can find, then take the job, you know. I mean, they have volunteers, but they also pay people per hour. You know, my mom's boyfriend actually works at a Salvation Army, and he gets paid like $10 an hour. But at his age, being 80 and all that, you know, that's still work, you know. If you got no job, instead of begging the government there, take whatever's around, folks. You know, plain and simple. But that's just the way our woke society is. They think that everything should be handed to them when they won't even think of actual solutions that are actually out there, you know. I'm too embarrassed to go spot here. I'm too embarrassed to... Come on. You know? I mean, it's fine to spend $100 on... I used to spend a lot more on food there when I was working at Verizon, because remember, I ate out a bunch, you know, and stuff with friends. I did a lot of business meetings and stuff. I traveled and everything, so... I spent very little on groceries back then when I was working at Verizon, but I spend more now because I don't have to go out. I just eat at home now, so... I spend a lot less on food these days. Yeah, if you can, you know, it's a lot easier to do that now, Dale, because all you got to do is look on your phone and you can look on eBay and see how much it's selling for, and then you can buy what you have there, you know. Do I think vegan gains? It's definitely possible there. I know his wife Jasmine's working, and he's not bringing in much money because I think we talked about this on Earl Grey Tuesday that, you know, he's kicked off and banned so many people that was donating, that was trolling. He's gotten rid of all of his trolling money, so there's very few people that are really donating at this point in time, you know. He bit the hand that fed him, you know. But at one time, he was making a lot of money. He was making between $10,000 to $15,000 a month there from doing the live streams. But that was the early days to where you can pretty much get away with anything. That's why when people ask me why don't I make so many hardcore videos like I used to, it's because of YouTube policies there. It's changed. Hey, Brotein, what's up there? We're just I'm just explaining how the woke community can stop complaining to the government and stuff. Hey, Joel, what's up again? But what do you think, guys? You think I mean, seriously, am I not right about this stuff here? You know, if you guys ever get in trouble there, just don't go and beg the government for something. You know, go find your own solutions because those solutions are out there. You know, solutions are always in place there. Why go and buy a $1,500 phone? You know, the only reason why I have this phone, which by the way was $800, is because technically I got it free because I worked at Verizon. My other phone I only spent $50 on. You know. And you know what my service is hooked up to? It's hooked up to Mint Mobile, you know, which is $15 a month. My Telo service I use for my business is $5, which I use as a business phone, so it's a tax write-off, you know. And I don't have cable. I don't pay for TV anymore, neither, so. But I appreciate that, you know, I mean, yeah, it comes a time to where you have to focus on what you need and what you don't need, you know. And when you think you need all these things, like I need to go and watch the latest episode of the Kardashians, I need to have the most expensive phone, I need to have a car payment. You know, car payments are now up to averaging about $500 a month. Some people got car payments of $730 a month, and because they're still paying on the car, they have to have collision with their insurance here. You know. People try to find these deals. They think they're getting a deal with $300, but they have to remember their insurance goes up because of collision. I have no collision on any of my vehicles here. So therefore, I pay $300 every 6 months for both of my vehicles. Oh, Joel, be careful on those sleeping pills. If you don't need them, don't take them here, you know. He's not promoting drug use, Andrew. I mean, sleeping pills are perfectly legal. Thoughts on sleep streams? I don't know what a sleep stream is. Let me look that up there. I've never heard of that. What is a sleep stream? Where the stream is live, but the streamer is either not present or active on the stream. Why would someone do that for? It wouldn't be, you wouldn't get banned from it there for not being there. I guess it would be for views and everything like that, but I think that's stupid. You should play some music or something. Vegan Gains, what is a woo man? Let's see. You need to be more specific. I don't see a video saying what is a woo man. Or what is a woman? Oh, wait a minute. We already did that. What is a woman? We already did a reaction video already did one of those reaction videos. Well, Andrew, sometimes he does fall asleep there because he streams so much there, so that's no surprise there, you know. He goes and falls asleep. It's kind of disrespectful to his, it's very disrespectful for the people that actually support his channel. It really is. Go on Veganism Exposed. What is he has? I've already seen all of his videos here for today. He hasn't uploaded any new videos unless he just put on the. Let's see if he put on the live stream to where he didn't show up. Oh yeah, I already saw that, Joel. He says he's not doing any drugs, but I beg to differ because he was talking about his cat Perismo. So, given the fact that I think he's only had Perismo or Charisma or whatever he calls it, maybe like a year or two, that means he's been using drugs recently. He's lying to himself there, Joel. But probably tomorrow, depending, because I don't have any real plans. I may do a 2 or 3 hour live stream reacting to videos. So you may see that tomorrow, Joel. It just really depends. Right now, I don't have any plans for tomorrow, for once, thank goodness. For the most part, it's going to be a pretty quiet day. The only thing I need to do is get up in the morning and go to Sam's Club. I need to just grab a couple of things. Do you think the American government will force its citizens to have a sign in to access the internet? No, that'll never happen. The internet is too free. It's like walking in the woods. Even then, someone will always come up with a way to get around that anyway. So it's pretty nil. Yeah, I thought that was funny, but Jasmine identifies herself as non-binary. Yeah, I just have liability insurance on my cars. Why do I need collision for, you know? My car's been paid off for like 5 years. If I get into a wreck and it's my fault there or so forth, my insurance is still going to cover it. It's just that my cars won't be covered. I'd have to buy new cars, but so what? I mean, I bought my Cadillac for like $600 and fixed it up, so. And I'm a good driver too, so. The amount of money that you'll pay in collision, you know, I can literally buy a new car within a matter of about, with that amount of money, within 6 months. Do I think bussier women have an easier finding a job than flatter women? I think most job locations go by based upon general skills, so I would say no, there's no going to be no difference between the two. Yeah, 350 a year is really good. And like I said, folks, that's why I bought my cars out and I didn't get car payments or anything. I like my cars anyway. My cars are cool. They're awesome. No, I wouldn't discriminate. Remember, first off, me, it's illegal to discriminate based upon a person's name itself. You have to look at work skills. I've been in a position where I did review job applications, not at Verizon, but at other job locations. But no, you can't do that. That's illegal to do something like that. And morally speaking, it's also not right neither. For someone that is not blessed with large, manly hands, can they still be good athletes? If you're doing hammer throws and stuff like that, Zach, then having small hands would not be beneficial. But the truth of the matter is, you should only take up a sport to where you have a general aptitude for, you know. I mean, if you're a 98-pound weakling, then you definitely shouldn't be taking up powerlifting. You shouldn't try to compete in the heavyweights. You should compete in the bantamweights. I don't have a new boyfriend. We were just dating there. I mean, it's all right there. Like I said, I'm not looking for a new husband or boyfriend there, you know, and stuff. Just gotta play the field on things. I was like, I'll go on a date, and someone hooked me up with it anyway. So, if a friend goes and says, "Hey, I think this guy's good for you," that's fine. So, I got nothing really to report, you know, until our next date, maybe, you know. I've never met Rexo Stallone before. But as far as physique is concerned, it's kind of weird. He can do a vacuum pose, but I think it's just the way he poses. He needs to definitely work on it. He's sort of like Paul Dillett in terms of posing. And that's the thing sometimes. His physique is better than what he can actually make it out to be, in other words. And what that means is he has a good physique. He just doesn't use. He just needs to work on his posing to show the best attributes of his physique. Youngest guy I would date would probably be 21 at this point in time. Would I ever date a girl? Not at this point. No, I'm not dating a bodybuilder. I still have to have some fun. I gotta sow my oats there, Andrew. You know, well, technically not sowing my oats here. You know, sex is part of the human nature. You know, sex is an instinctive behavior, so you got to do what the monkeys do in the jungle. You know, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. You know. Ooh, 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 What conditions like Julio? Well, Zach, both of those would pretty much ruin a bodybuilder's career. If you have either one of these two, then you're done for. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I think someone got drunk on some moonshine and mistaken a bear for something that had some really big feet. I think that's the power of moonshine, to where they saw something that they didn't. Loch Ness Monster is a little bit different there, because we've had dinosaurs. It's possible that there could be a dinosaur lurking around. I mean, technically an alligator is a dinosaur. Not a crocodile, but an alligator is a dinosaur technically. So you just never know. Favorite pounding position for giving and receiving? I like missionary. I like looking at my partner. I don't like going from behind. Doggy style is pretty good. I just like looking at someone's face here, you know. That's always a beautiful thing, you know. when you're down and you're looking at someone, it's a lot more personal. When I think of doggy style, it's kind of impersonal. Like you don't want to see the person. You're just, you know, there's nothing physical about it there. There's nothing. It just doesn't do it for me. In other words, if that makes any sense. Yeah, birds are descendants of dinosaurs, but an alligator is an actual dinosaur, actually. No, we don't do that type of stuff anymore. When I was a kid, I did, and ragdoll them, but, at my age, I definitely can't be doing things like that. All right, folks, we got 15 minutes left. Get your questions in. If y'all need to throw some money in for some Swordfish Club tips, you can do that as well. Like I said, we'll probably I may do a react tomorrow, depending on things. Like I said, I don't have any plans right now, which is the reason. Does my home have a porch? It has 2 porches. I have one in the back as well. It's big enough to where I can keep a grill out there, but I don't. But yes, I do have a porch. Hey, Jacob, you're getting in here kind of late there. What's up with that? I just got the usual robe on there. That's about it. Nothing but the usual robe. Mm-hmm. Do I have something outside to cover the heat in the car being outside? I do have a cover for the car but usually I'm too lazy to use something like that. I just roll down the windows and I start driving and it blows out the hot air. You were thinking about doing a show poll shout out? Okay, I'll do a shout out. Soul Pole! Little small one tonight. Seeing it activated my it activated one of my volume controls on here, so all right, it's been done there, Truth One. So yeah, DM some video. You burned your dinner? What'd you cook tonight there, Jacob? Sorry you burned it. You're fine, Zach, there. You ain't got to give a donation just for me to twerk my ass or to listen to a song or so forth or to play a reaction video. That's not the way we work on the Midnight Run. We just hang out, we have some fun, That's it. And just sit and chat. Oh, yes, I definitely smoke a cigar on the porch there, No hanging flower baskets here, just chairs and stuff. I'd like to get a rocking chair so I can just rock back and forth there, just like an old man. But I got to get some lemongrass as well, and I got to spray around there because I got wasp. So I got to take care of those. I've never flown a plane. I hate airplanes, and I don't have a pilot's license. I have flown a plane in a video game, but, that's one thing, folks. I absolutely hate airplanes. If I can, I'm sort of like John Madden. John Madden hated airplanes, too. I like taking a bus instead or driving. I absolutely hate airplanes. Boiled steak? You should never boil a steak there, Jacob. A gallon of milk, sir. I've heard never boil a steak. Steaks are not meant to be boiled. You can stew meat there, but a steak. I mean, that's just ruining it there. Yeah, I don't know why Blaha does. Boiling a steak is lazy whenever you can just pan fry it or grill it. I like grilling mine there for the most part. Vegan Gains always comments on Hot Girl on his streams, and sometimes he says certain attractive girls are bad, and meanwhile he's married to Jasmine. He really shouldn't be ogling women there and stuff like that, and the orc porn stuff is just making things worse. So he's a dummy for doing stuff like that in front of his wife, I know he does here. None of those women would ever go out with a nutcase like he is. It isn't just the turbulence. It's just the fact that going through gates and dealing with all the crazy stuff there, When it comes to like a Greyhound bus, for example, all I got to do is pack bags. I wait. There's no lines. I ain't got to run to any gate or anything like that. I get on. I sit back, put my headphones on, and stuff, and that's it. I'm driving. It also gives me a chance to watch the countryside as well. Now, it takes a little bit longer on a bus, but, I like seeing the country there. I don't need to get somewhere so fast, And I've been on the bus, the longest I've ever been on the bus is like a day before, and it's actually pretty cool. I like watching this countryside while I'm traveling. If I live in a house that's surrounded by commercial businesses in every home, can you lower the value of your home? Yes and no. Sometimes it'll actually increase the value depending on what type of business it is there, If you live in an area to where there's general coffee houses, where there's general restaurants and stuff like that, then the value of your home is going to go way up. Now, if you live in an industrial park, on the other hand, then yes, it's going to lower the value. So, good question there.
A live stream from the porch when you get the rocking chair would be epic. Great one.
Quick Pump with a $5 donation. That's not a bad idea to actually do. Of course, I wouldn't be able to use Streamlabs with the equipment that I have, but we can definitely check in on that. But thanks again for the donation. Do I sit in the back of the bus? Actually, yes, I generally do. Or actually in the middle, so that way there's minimum swaying. But I don't like sitting in the front of the bus, If I get into a crash there, I would like to have some time in order to brace myself. As long as I get a good seat to where I can go and watch the countryside, I'm perfectly content with that. I go on, I'll bring like a Chromebook or something. I'll bring a couple of meals, pack some stuff, maybe a couple snacks, maybe even a game system, Nintendo Switch there. I may go out and buy one of those. And not only that, folks, you have it's a lot cheaper to travel by bus anyway than it is by airplane. I like buses, I mean, if I'm going to Las Vegas, for example, then yeah, obviously I'm going to take a plane. I'm not going to spend 5 days on a bus here, But if it's something in general relative distance of a day or so forth, I got no problems catching a bus, Aha, what's that fuss? Everybody move to the back of the bus. We don't want to... Pat, man, it doesn't matter at this point in time as far as whether I sit in the back of the bus. The whole bus boycotts had nothing really to do with back of the bus. People just wanted the freedom to sit where they wanted to sit there. That's the whole purpose. It wasn't so much as being in the back of the bus. But yeah, as long as I can get somewhere within a day's time or so forth, then I'm perfectly fine with a bus. If it takes longer than a day, 24 hours for me to get somewhere, then I am going to take an airplane. Thoughts on the bang bus? Do they still do those bang buses? I guess they do. So, Paul, I'm a little lethargic. Sorry, it's because I have no caffeine in me or so forth. But I mean, I'm sleeping a lot better now. I still got to cut down on a couple things there as well that I did at Verizon, but it's coming slowly but surely. So the Greyhound bus system will never fade, thick cut. It's just going to get better. You know, Greyhound buses now have Wi-Fi on them as well. So you can get on and surf the internet. But most of the time, I just, what I generally do is, you know, what I generally do is I take a Greyhound bus, I'll catch it at nighttime there, then fasten up, and then I'll just sleep through most of the trip. That takes care of like 8 or 9 hours here. You know what I mean? Well, you got that's another thing of me. I always bring special pads there when I get on a Greyhound bus. I won't be able to stay up tonight. I still got to do some website work. That's why I was saying that I may do a reaction video tomorrow for a couple of hours there since I don't have any general plans there. It took 3 days. Yeah, for something like that thick cut, I would take an airplane, you know. Some of them do, Zach. I think it's kind of silly there. But on the other hand, whenever I was training for shows, I would get up in the morning to do 30 minutes of cardio, and then I'd go back to bed. So, Paul. No, Bill Dundee, it doesn't sound like that there. Yeah, I guess that is true. But as long as the Greyhounds are still around, I'm going to still ride them. Yeah, I may do a reaction stream tomorrow night, Ice Monkey. It just really all depends. Like I said, I don't have any plans. I have no date tomorrow or anything. And if I was going to go to the Swordfish Club, it would be around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I can do that when I spare, but I mean, even the best channels are going to have some off time there, Zach. But I won't be able to do that tonight because I got a couple of other things to do. So I'm sorry there. Sometimes I could stay up for an extra hour, and then other times I can't. This is definitely not going to be one of those nights. Otherwise, I'll be working on it tomorrow. I want to have the weekend for myself at least. With the exception of the live stream there, you know, I don't have any problems doing it when I don't have nothing to do. Sleep is a lot more important, Pat Man, because, you know, that's your body's recovery system. It's where your body it's the best time when your body actually builds muscle. No, I don't know what happened to Vegan Gains here. I have no clue. I haven't had time to check on it. There's been nothing reported. I just like Greyhound because it's cheap, the ride on, as opposed to an airplane, and it's also a lot less stress. Well, it depends on whether it's on Amazon Prime. I hate there. Right now, I'm not going to any movies or anything. I am going to watch Citadel on Amazon Prime. I'm going to see how that is. Do you like Dream Machine? I don't know who Tony Graham is there. Yes, the body at nighttime releases growth hormone. It's also your recovery system. It gives your body a chance to recover. If you didn't sleep, your body doesn't recover from all the damage it gets during the day. All right, folks, 2 minutes left. Get your questions in. Squeaks, what are you doing popping in? It's about 2 minutes before I close the show there. You know the show starts at 10 p.m. What's up with that? That's all right. We got replay anyway. You can replay all the reaction video and stuff to Jay Masters taking a doo-doo in the back of the... Well, thick cut, that's too long of a trip. Like I said, if it's over 24 hours... then you should take an airplane. Should I respect anyone that doesn't respect me or be... No, you have no reason to respect someone that doesn't respect you. Oh, you did, Squeaks? Oh. Hopefully you didn't have to work too hard. Be sure to watch the replay. Like I said, I may stream tomorrow. It'll be a little bit earlier. If I'm going to do it, it'll be around 6 p.m. Hey, Athens. Sorry you missed the show, but folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream. Thanks again for joining me on the live stream, the Midnight Run. I want to thank Pugman, Quick Pump, and let's see who else. Who else donated? $50 you donated too. And I want to thank everybody else for joining me for the show. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, you may see me tomorrow. We'll just see about that. I would stay on tonight, but I got to take care of some other business here. Otherwise, I'll be up until 3 or 4 in the morning. Not that I'm not going to be up anyway. But as always, again, this is the great one, Vince Goodrum. You've just witnessed the Midnight Run. I'll try to find out what happened to Vegan Gains, but in the meantime, folks, if I don't see you again until Tuesday, Earl Grey